In your simplicity, there's a purity that I find myself drawn to, like a moth to a flame. You don't even realize how captivating your innocence is, but I can't help but be mesmerized by it. There's something almost intoxicating about your innocence. It's like an untapped well of purity, waiting to be discovered, yet keeping me on the edge of something deeper. The way you carry yourself, so unaware of your allure, it's as if the universe crafted you with such beauty and grace that it's impossible to resist being drawn to you. It's not the perfection of your being, but the unguarded way you express yourself, so free and untouched by the harshness of the world, that makes me pause and wonder what lies beneath. Every time I look at you, I'm caught between awe and desire. Your innocence is a delicate dance, and I find myself drawn in, mesmerized by your every move, every word. You are a walking contradiction, so pure, yet so captivating, so untouched by the world, yet so alluring. It's the innocence you wear that tempts me to discover more. It's the way your soul shines with unspoken purity that makes everything else seem so trivial. You're an enigma, so innocent and yet so full of quiet power that I can't look away. You don't realize it, but your innocence carries with it a quiet strength. There's a subtle temptation in the way you move through life, as if every step you take is a brushstroke of purity. I find myself intrigued by your innocence, not in a way that seeks to corrupt, but in a way that wishes to explore the depth of your heart, untouched and full of wonder. There's a tenderness in you that feels almost fragile, like a flower in bloom. But I know deep down that your purity is a force, one that I can't seem to resist. You don't need to try to be anything more than you are. Your innocence alone holds a quiet temptation, and I can't help but feel drawn to it, pulled in by its purity. It's strange how your innocence makes me feel things I never expected. You're so untainted, so untouched, and yet that very thing makes me want to get closer, to understand you more. Your innocence has a way of making the world around me feel far less complicated. It's as if being near you brings a sense of peace, and yet there's an undeniable temptation to learn more. There's something almost sacred about the way you carry your innocence, as if it's a treasure meant to be protected. But I can't help but feel it pulls me in, wanting to know the deeper layers of your being. The simplicity in your eyes speaks volumes. There's a temptation in that purity, in the way you navigate the world with a sense of wonder, untouched by its chaos. In a world that often seems so jaded, your innocence is a breath of fresh air, but it's that very purity that draws me in, wanting to know the secrets you keep hidden beneath. You carry a quiet charm, an innocence that's so powerful yet so subtle. It's almost too tempting to resist, like a melody I can't stop playing in my head. Your innocence doesn't just lie in what you say or do, it's woven into your very being. It tempts me to peel back the layers and discover the depth of who you truly are. Every time I catch a glimpse of your smile, I'm reminded of just how powerful innocence can be. You've got this way of making everything feel right, even in a world that often doesn't. There's a purity in your thoughts, your actions, and your very soul that makes me feel like I'm witnessing something sacred. But it's that very innocence that keeps me coming back for more. It's almost as if you wear your innocence like a veil, hiding just enough of yourself to keep me wondering. The more I try to understand, the deeper the mystery becomes. You don't need to speak loudly to be heard. Your innocence is a quiet whisper that calls to something deep within me, something I can't quite place, but can't ignore. I often wonder if you know just how powerful your innocence is. It pulls me in, and I find myself thinking about you more than I should, caught in the temptation of your purity. There's something so soothing about your presence, like a calm in the storm, but that calm is laced with a temptation, a pull that makes me want to know more, to see past the innocence. Your innocence doesn't scream for attention, but it demands it in the quietest, most subtle way. It's a force that tempts me to unravel the mysteries behind your eyes. The way you carry yourself with such grace and purity tempts me in ways I never expected. It's like every part of you is a riddle I'm dying to solve. It's not your perfection that pulls me in, but the purity in your heart. You're like a light in the dark, and I find myself drawn to it, hoping to understand the depths of your being. In your innocence, there's an almost palpable allure, something so real and untainted that it tempts me to want to know you better, to peel back the layers that hide the essence of who you are. You move through life with a quiet grace, unaware of the power your innocence holds. It's tempting to imagine what lies beneath, but I find myself captivated by the surface, wanting more. You've got this rare ability to remain untouched by the chaos of the world, and that in itself is tempting. It's as if you carry with you a sense of purity that makes me want to understand you deeper. Every glance you throw my way feels like a silent invitation. You're so innocent, yet there's an undeniable depth to you that tempts me to want to know more about the person behind the facade. Your innocence isn't something that begs for attention, but it's undeniably present, drawing me in. It's like an unspoken invitation to explore a world I never thought I'd be tempted by. I wonder if you know how captivating your innocence truly is. It's not about what you do, but about who you are, a pure soul who tempts me in the most subtle of ways. In the quiet of your presence, there's a temptation to break through the innocence and find the unspoken truths hidden deep within you. But I resist, knowing that sometimes the purity is the beauty. Your innocence feels like a treasure, something untouched and rare. It's almost too tempting to not want to explore the depth of your heart, to find out where that purity leads. There's a power in your innocence, something that draws me in even as I try to resist. It's almost too tempting to not be fascinated by the person you are, the purity you embody. You carry yourself with such unassuming grace, yet there's something almost magnetic about your innocence. It tempts me to see beyond the surface, to understand what makes you truly shine. Your innocence is like a delicate thread weaving through the chaos of the world. It's so subtle, yet so strong, and I can't help but be tempted to follow it, wherever it may lead. I'm constantly torn between the desire to protect your innocence and the temptation to explore it further. You're a paradox, so pure yet so full of mystery. There's something about you, something innocent yet powerful, that tempts me in the quietest ways. I want to understand you, but I also want to respect the purity you carry. You're like a piece of art, delicate and beautiful, with an innocence that tempts me to pause and appreciate every little detail. I find myself wondering what lies beneath that flawless exterior. Your innocence doesn't scream for attention, but it commands it effortlessly. It's a temptation that I can't ignore, pulling me in to learn more about the person behind those pure eyes. It's not about how perfect you seem, it's about the way you carry your innocence with such ease. That's what tempts me, to know you, to understand the quiet strength behind your purity. You move through life with such subtle grace, and I find myself wondering just how much of that grace is really innocence. You're an enigma, and that's what makes you so tempting. Every moment with you feels like a slow unraveling, a temptation to discover the layers that lie beneath your innocent smile. I'm captivated, curious, and completely drawn to you. You walk through the world with such purity that it makes everything seem a little more beautiful. Your innocence is a gentle temptation, like a soft whisper I can't help but follow. There's a quiet kind of power in your innocence, something so subtle that it tempts me to discover the truth behind the calm exterior. You are a mystery I want to solve. I'm not sure if you realize just how captivating your innocence is. There's a rawness to it, a temptation that pulls me in and makes me want to see everything you keep hidden. The way you carry your innocence with such grace tempts me to question the world around me. It's a quiet power drawing me closer to the purity that lies within you. There's a mystery in your innocence that tempts me, like an unopened book that promises a world of beautiful stories. I find myself wanting to explore the chapters of your life. In every gesture, every word, your innocence speaks volumes, and it tempts me in ways I can't quite explain. There's something so alluring in its simplicity. You are like a calm in the storm, your innocence offering a refuge from the chaos. It tempts me to believe that there's something deeply beautiful about staying untouched by the world. The way you smile, the way you speak, it's all so innocent, so pure. I can't help but wonder if there's more behind the facade, a temptation to know the person you truly are. There's something about your innocence that makes me want to protect you, but also to understand you better. It's a temptation to dive deeper into the person beneath the surface.